Hey folks, how's it going? Welcome back to the channel, and welcome back to another one of our weekly Ascendance of a Bookworm Season 2 discussion video. Today we're talking all about Episode 4, but before we get into things, I do, as always, have to give a big thank you to those of you who shared last week's video over on Twitter. At Bubbalubber, at Luna de Otaku, at IanSay1, at Sirius9752, at Osiris99, at Arduin, at Anzov97, and at Wizardo320. Thank you all so much for sharing last week's video over on Twitter, everybody, and if you too would like to have your name shouted out in next week's Ascendance of a Bookworm video, then be sure to share this video around on the internet, and then tag me at JoJo Talks Too Much over on Twitter, and I will be sure to shout out the first handful of you in next week's video. Okay, so Episode 4. We're still in the church. Okay, so I'm changing up my format a little bit, so instead of just being like, I want to talk about like one specific thing, we're gonna kind of give a general opinion on the episode as we go. So just going off the top, the last episode I did, or the last video I did on the channel, where we covered Episode 3, I made it very clear my opinions on the last 3 episodes, how I'm feeling about what I guess we'll just refer to for now as the church arc, since I don't really like novels, so I don't know what arc we're in. But the church arc is not my favorite part of Bookworm so far, and I made that clear. You all made it clear how much you disagree with me, and that's fine, because opinions are like assholes. Everybody has one. It's okay to have a different opinion. Ain't nothing wrong with that. Now, I'm going to tell you what I think of the episode. If you don't like it, that's fine, but at least hear me out. Okay? Thank you. So, we get this bit at the beginning with this whole alms of the god thing. Alms for the poor, alms of the gods. And we've basically, last week I had said, like, one of the few things of the episode that I was actually interested in was seeing what was up with that weird locked room. I was like, whoa, there's like a barrier, so they're locked in. Something's locked in, and there was like weird slurping noises. So I was like, whoa, is it like a monster? Is there a monster in the church? Shit, this is gonna get cool. It's not a monster. I was hoping for a big cool monster. That's not what I got. Instead, what I got was a lot of sad. I got a lot of sadness because mine is taken to the orphanage by Gil, and I'm like, wait, the orphanage is where the big spooky monster is? There's no monster. It's just a bunch of sickly-looking orphans. And yeah, any redeemable factor of this church flew right the hell out the window in that moment. That was awful. That was so sad. And like, again, like, that's not a bad thing. I think people hear like awful and think like, oh, the writing's bad. It's like, no, the writing's good, because it made me think like, oh shit, that was awful. There's other reasons why I don't think the writing's that good this season, but like this particular moment was pretty good. They really effectively made the children look and move and just like react really sickly in a way that was like unsettling. As an example, there was one kid just like laying on the ground at one point, and it was like really, really like just unsettling. Just really, you felt like mine in that moment. This scene is then immediately followed by mine fainting again, which I'm noticing is happening a hell of a lot this season. But mine faints again, and then like Fran and Delia try to make it Gil's fault, and it's like, no, Gil told her to, or she told Gil to do something, and Gil did it. And then Fran's like, I'm sorry you had to see that, Lady Mine. And Delia's like, yeah, like, what are you doing, you stupid idiot, blah, blah, blah. And I'm like, what the freak? Like, don't get me wrong, I don't exactly love Gil. He's pretty far down on the list of favorite characters, but he didn't do anything there. Like, Delia, I get, but Fran, come on, man. Fran has fallen so far after episode 2, like, where I thought, like, oh, Fran's kind of turning around. It's not that I think he's a bad character, it's just that he's just there. Like, his allegiance sways, his opinion on things sway. I just don't like Fran that much. Like he's just kind of there, so I was like a little annoyed. Gil, at least I get why Gil acts the way he acts. Fran's just like, I care, but then other times I like don't care. Like Ferdinand I get, because he's trying to work within the system. I guess Fran's trying to do the same thing, but it just comes off as phony. The whole mine fainting and then everybody getting mad at Gil for it thing, that didn't quite work for me, if I'm totally honest. Basically, though, this leads to Gil, like, now that Maine has seen the orphanage, again, in what I think is the best scene of the episode, possibly the best scene of the season, and Gil is like, Lady Maine, please help them. Do something. You can do something. And right away, like, my first thought is, like, make them retainers. Like, they're retainers. These kids are, like, Delia and Gil are from the orphanage. Just make them retainers. But it takes a while for somebody to think of that. And yeah, it's this moment where she's like, everybody's like, no, you can't. Maine's like, I can't do anything, but I can ask Ferdinand. And I'm thinking, like, what? Why would Ferdinand do anything? Like, why would the head priest do anything? He sucks. Like, or the high priest, the head priest, I don't know, whatever. Like, Ferdinand's, like, don't get me wrong, Ferdinand doesn't suck. That's extreme language. But Ferdinand, like, he's not going to do anything because he can't do anything. He's trying to he's doing, like, he's sort of like Reeve from Final Fantasy VII, where he's trying to, like, work within the system to change it from the inside. But that's a really slow process. And so, obviously, Ferdinand's not going to do anything. I was still legitimately grossed out by his cold logic, because it's, like, really cold logic where he's like, where Mine's like, aren't you supposed to be raising them to be, like, children? And he's like, no, they are, like, being raised to be servants to nobility. Like, that's what they do here. And I was like, dude, gross. But then later we established, like, Ferdinand's like, I lost years off my life when you said that, because the head priest or the high priest or whatever the hell, one of his retainers was there, one of the blue robes that trusts him was there. I can't believe you said that without thinking. And that's another thing about this season that's driving me up the wall, is Maine is really intelligent. Really smart. Last season, one of the coolest parts about Maine was seeing her, like, make inventions and seeing her talk around adults. Like, it was really, really neat. And that is just gone now. And Maine just thinks with her emotions now. Very strange. I don't know how to feel about that. But, like, yeah, Maine just, without really looking around and thinking about it at all, just, like, blurts out what she wants from Ferdinand. Ferdinand obviously says no. Ferdinand's off my husbando list. Like, I understand why he does what he does, but I was like, still makes you a douche. I can understand why you're doing what you're doing and still not think you're all that anymore. Benno, still the reigning champion. Benno and Benno, Otto too. Otto's top tier husbando, but Otto's married, so I don't want to break up a happy home. And Benno, though, Benno's top tier. Benno's still top tier. Then we get a little bit of a reprieve from the church, thank God, when we see my boy Lutz. And seeing Lutz just makes me, like, just so nostalgic for season 1. It wasn't even that long ago. But seeing Lutz makes me, like, really miss downtown. Like, I part of me is, like, I kind of wanted the show to go a different direction. Like, to have mine stuck in the church. At first, I thought this was going to be really interesting, because I was like, we're going to get into, like, some lore and stuff like that. Not really. Like we're dealing with church politics and orphanages, and it's all kind of, like, I don't know. Like, it's just not what I wanted. Like, I don't know what I wanted, but this ain't it. And for some people, it is it. And some people are, like, really down with the whole church politics and stuff like that. And if you're into that, then awesome. I'm glad you're enjoying the season. I think the season's okay. I did have somebody, I'm just gonna be real with you, I don't really read the comments as much as I used to. Like, that, it's just hard to, because it's a lot of negativity and it's a lot of, like, I don't know, it's just, it's hard to read it all sometimes. And one of the comments I did see was somebody being like, "Wow, but you gave a glowing review to the other 2 episodes." And first of all, if these are reviews, then, like, I don't know what reviewers you're watching, but I wouldn't classify this as a review. This is just a chit-chat between you and I. This is not, like, I am not analyzing crap. Like, unless we're talking about colors and character designs, I know jack shit about, like, I am, like, not really analyzing stuff, just giving you my opinion. So I guess it's more of an opinion piece than a review. But regardless, the first 2 episodes, glowing is not what I would call my opinion on the first 2 episodes. My opinion on the first 2 episodes was like, it's okay, it's pretty good, it's decent. Whereas season 1 of Bookworm is awesome. Season 1 is great. So to go from great to, like, it's pretty good. Like, that's my opinion right now, is like, yeah, it's pretty good. It's all right. I think it's finally moving, which is good. It's a letdown. And I know people are going to be like, "Ooh, well, like, like, I know people are gonna be upset, but I would hope that you at least respect my opinion and that we've built up enough of a rapport between each other that you're also willing to accept that, yeah, sometimes I'm not gonna like something, or sometimes I'm just not gonna enjoy something as much as I did. Because it's not that I don't like Ascendance of a Bookworm, it's that it's not quite as great as I remember season 1 being. And that is kind of a letdown. And it's okay for somebody to be let down by something. And if it makes you feel any better, I still love Lutz. I still love Benno. I still love all those characters. I still love mine. I think Fran and Gil have potential. And where we're going now, I'm actually kind of excited about. Now that we got the orphanage thing all taken care of, it's out of the way. And Fran, Delia, and Gil aren't like spies and like annoyances anymore, now that they're actually trying to be characters, and it looks like things are getting on track. I'm more optimistic now than I was last week. Last week I was so not excited for episode 4. I'm still not excited for episode 5, but I'm more optimistic now than I was last week. And I do feel like there's a potential for something really cool here. The idea of the orphans actually working for their food and like actually becoming retainers. Like, that's the thing too, is like when mine's like, I can't help them, I'm like, just take on retainers. I don't think there's a limit to how many retainers you can have. And then later in the episode, Lutz says, why don't you just take them on as retainers? And mine's like, oh my god, Lutz, you're a genius. And I was like, is he? Like, is he? I'm shocked nobody else thought of that. Like, Lutz, don't get me wrong, Lutz is a good boy. He's my favorite boy. He's a good boy. But yeah, let's just stating the obvious there. Lutz is a good dude. I miss Lutz. Like, if there was a spin-off about Lutz and Benno and what they were doing in the meantime, and it aired at the same time, I genuinely think I would be watching the spin-off instead of what's going on with mine. But hopefully, next week begins the uptick. I do think that there was some great scenes in this episode. In particular, having mine see what the orphanage was. Although I'm disappointed there wasn't a cool monster, it was still really solid because I was like, whoa, like this is such an emotionally impactful scene. The art's great in that moment, really dark, heavy shadows, great use of color. Like, everything about it was great. I was like, aha, there's the excellent direction from last season. There it is. It's still there. So I have hopes that it's like, okay, you have a lot of potential with this that you haven't utilized. For me, personally, me, not anybody else, I'm just talking about me. In my opinion, I haven't been wowed by the setting and the elements of the story that they have at their disposal currently. But after this episode, I'm more optimistic. With that said, everybody, I'm going to wrap up today's video here. Question of the day today: who is your favorite downtown character? For me, you know mine. It's either Benno or Lutz, but I want to know yours. Let me know in the comments below. And that's going to do it for today's video, everybody. So I hope you guys enjoyed. If you did, then by all means, hitting that like button and leaving a comment down below is a great way to help out this channel, as it pleases the almighty YouTube algorithm. So if you choose to do so, kudos to you. And if you're feeling extra supportive today, you can go ahead and check out all the links in the description. One goes to my Twitter, another one is to our Discord server, another one to our merch store if you feel like grabbing yourself a mug, and of course, our Patreon page. And speaking of the Patreon page, I do want to give a big thank you to those of you in the T Squadron who support this channel month to month. Let's go ahead and do the Earl Grey shoutouts. Zevi, Andrew W, Branson C, Bria Rose, Calvin A, Crowbar of Irony, Daniel G, Digger the Fox, Dominic G, Emily, Ionos, Urza, Ginkotaku, Godzilla Fan, No For Nothing, Maria T, Marshall B, Mater, Mirth Mouser, Cell, Shadow Creative, Stephen G, Sakochi, The Suavest Orange, Tristan G, and Veridon. Thanks so much for your continued support over on Patreon, everybody, and if you too would like to join the T Squadron, then be sure to check out the first link in the description to check out our Patreon page. That is a huge way to support the channel. And again, be sure to check out the other stuff in the Discord as well. Go join our Discord. It is now public. You can all join. Everybody can hop in the Discord. Follow me on Twitter if you want me to ramble at you even more. And until next time, you stay classy, AnyTube, and wash your dang hands.